It's 2004 in Riyadh, and the heat presses against the walls of Fahad's cousin's electronics shop, where three friends sit surrounded by dusty computers, tangled wires, and stacks of old DVDs. Omar kicks a chair and sighs. Wallah, this thing eats movies faster than my cousin eats kapsa. Fahad flops on a chair, fanning himself with a Tashmatash DVD. Bro, there's gotta be a better way. I just want to watch something without rewinding it 20 times. Saad, scrolling on a tiny Nokia, shrugs. If only the internet worked. Maybe we could stream. Omar jumps up, eyes sparkling. Exactly. We'll make a website that streams shows. Saudi shows, Arab dramas, football, comedies, Ramadan specials. People won't need tapes ever again. Fahad laughs. So like Netflix but Saudi? Exactly, Omar says, grabbing a marker. We'll call it Netflix with a Q. Q is for kahwa. They all burst into laughter. Omar sketches a logo. A red dollar pouring steaming pixels into a laptop. It's perfect, he says. Now we just need content. Saad leans back. Content? What content? All we have is old soap operas and my uncle's wedding videos. No, bro. We'll create our own, Omar says, pacing. Original Saudi shows, comedies, dramas, horror, reality, everything. Fahad grins. Let's brainstorm. First, breaking dates. A guy sells dates by day, fights crime by night. Second, money majlis. Business tycoons battling over gahwa recipes. Third, fast and faithful. Drifting Camrys, stopping for prayer breaks. Saad laughs. Don't forget the haunting of Alula. Tourists wander the desert at night, and every time a shadow moves, someone yells, Yalla! Omar nods. Comedy 2, Between Two Camels, like Between Two Ferns, but with gahwa. Fahad adds, a reality dating show called Halal or Haram. Contestants navigate crushes while following Saudi etiquette. Saad smirks. And Game of Thobes, epic sword fights, family drama, everyone's wearing thobes. They scribble feverishly on napkins, markers, and even the dusty counter. A week later, their first episode is live. The screen freezes for 20 seconds before an old Gulf comedy finally loads. It works, Omar yells, spilling gahwa on the floor. Fahad twirls his plastic sword like a hero. They high-five as the first viewer clicks in, someone in Dammam. We're live, Saad whispers, awed. By the next day, dozens of viewers log in, then hundreds, then thousands. The servers, built from a mix of old PCs and a repurposed PlayStation, groan under the pressure. We need more bandwidth, Omar mutters. Bandwidth? Fahad laughs. Half the country's still on dial-up. I'd get a camel to deliver DVDs faster. They laugh, exhausted but exhilarated. Omar points to a whiteboard. We need categories. Saudi dramas, comedies, Ramadan specials, action, horror, kids, sports, educational content. And don't forget documentaries about camels and desert life. Saad grins. And short films about guys arguing over parking in Riyadh. Fahad laughs. Or 90 Days in Najd, a survival show in the desert. The content team grows, mostly friends, relatives, and anyone willing to act on camera. Saad's uncle stars in The Real Housewives of Riyadh, where the biggest drama is forgetting to serve gahwa on time. Omar directs Dune, but with dates, a sci-fi adventure where futuristic Bedouins ride drones across the desert. Fahad produces Love in the Roundabout, a rom-com where two people keep missing each other in Riyadh traffic circles. Audiences can't get enough. Comments flood in. Finally, shows that understand us. More camels, less drama, please. Where's the Ramadan special? Every Thursday, families gather around laptops to binge Al-Shabaab Squad, a superhero series where each hero has a power inspired by Saudi traditions. One refills gahwa endlessly. Another summons shawarma from thin air. A third can calm arguments during family dinners. The show becomes so popular that kids reenact it in schoolyards with toy swords. Meanwhile, the trio expands content ideas. They launch Crown and Camel, a royal thriller where perfume heists, political intrigue, and tea ceremonies collide. Stranger Things Desert Edition features kids on bikes encountering supernatural sand spirits. Halal Detectives becomes a hit reality mystery series with amateur sleuths solving thefts at souks. For comedy, The Sandfather becomes a parody of mafia movies set in Riyadh, where the family business is stealing dates. There are cooking shows with life advice hidden in every recipe, documentaries on Bedouin life narrated dramatically, and even horror shows about haunted malls. A special section called Kid-Friendly Ramadan Nights streams fairy tales with moral lessons and gentle humor. International media notices. Who are these Saudis? One journalist asks, watching Diriyah Confidential, a political thriller featuring secret treasure maps hidden in historical forts. They start receiving offers for collaboration. Omar is asked to advise on an American show about Arabian myths. Saad gets invited to a panel in Dubai about digital streaming innovation. Fahad negotiates deals with Turkish and Indian actors to guest star in Netflix originals. Meanwhile, kids in Riyadh watch dubbed foreign shows on the platform, but locals tweak them with Arabic subtitles, creating hilarious mismatches. In one episode, a character says, "I love you, Layla," but the subtitles read, "The coffee is ready." The audience laughs anyway. Months pass. Netflix expands to Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, and Oman. Billboards flash with their logo, a red dollar pouring pixels across Riyadh and Jeddah. Influencers make reaction videos, schools cite Netflix shows in media classes, and families gather every evening for episode night. The platform grows fast. Omar monitors analytics. "Bro, we have 1 million subscribers." Fahad grins. "Half of Riyadh is watching us." Saad adds, "And they all want originals next." They brainstorm new shows. Alula Noir, a detective series in desert towns. The Prince's Gambit, palace intrigue with dramatic music and suspense. Jeddah Vice, a comedy about street racing with strict prayer breaks. Every idea is steeped in Saudi culture, but designed for international audiences. Then comes the call from Hollywood. "We love your brand, but maybe lose the coffee pot logo?" An executive says. Omar shakes his head. No pot, no deal. They laugh, realizing their identity is part of the appeal. Negotiations follow. The plan: merge tech and reach with Saudi content expertise. Netflix becomes Netflix Arabia. The launch ad shows deserts, cities, historical forts, coffee ceremonies, street markets, camels, and glowing modern skyscrapers. Their first global original, Game of Thobes, a sword-swinging, dramatic comedy drama. Celebrities attend premieres dressed in thobes. International fans cosplay characters, remix intro music with drums and ouds, and even learn Arabic phrases. Back in Riyadh, the three friends sit in a high-rise office with the skyline glowing. Omar says, "We turned Arab family traditions into binge-watching events." Fahad adds, "Even my grandmother now says, 'Next episode.'" Saad laughs, and she gets mad if it buffers. The content team is now massive, producing over 50 shows simultaneously. Sci-fi adventures, romantic comedies, historical dramas, reality competitions, horror, and educational content. Each show has distinctly Saudi flavor, hospitality, family ties, humor, respect for tradition, but designed to appeal to everyone. The platform now offers categories like historical epics, Ramadan specials, desert adventures, comedy majlis, action with prayer breaks, and kids content with lessons. International collaborations grow. Hollywood offers to license Fast and Faithful, Riyadh Drift. Turkish actors appear in Diriyah Confidential. K-pop stars guest on Game of Thobes, and Bollywood dancers star in The Sandfather. Film schools in Riyadh and Jeddah are established to train the next generation of storytellers. Kids dress up as characters from Al-Shabaab Squad for school plays. Parents quote lines from The Real Housewives of Riyadh at dinner. By the end of the year, Netflix becomes a cultural phenomenon. At a global film festival, the trio is interviewed. "How did you start this empire?" a reporter asks. Omar smiles. "In a phone shop, with bad Wi-Fi and a dream." Fahad adds, "And too much coffee." Saad laughs. "We turn simple ideas into stories people everywhere can enjoy." That night, overlooking the ocean from a Cannes balcony, they sip gahwa, watching a world that now follows Saudi culture, humor, and storytelling. Omar says, "Next season, The Office Riyadh. It's just us, running Netflix and constantly spilling coffee." They laugh as the camera pans over the glowing Riyadh skyline, the rhythmic to dumb sound echoing. followed by a proud voice, a Saudi original.